Oh shit! I don't even got my intro. Fuck. It's all good. In the Granite, IGN's in the Granite 617 with my man, New Jersey, another Northeast beast, my fucking first co-host on this show. And I'm glad to have him fucking, we do collabs here and there whenever we have the time because we both have wife and kids and happy wife, happy life. And plus we both want to see our kids, you know what I mean? So,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, we always support each other, Granite. So,
yeah.
I always check out your shows. You always check out my shows. And
yeah, I love your show, bro, but I don't get the fucking, the what's it called, notifications. It pisses me off.
Yeah.
A lot of people's I don't get them for.
I wonder why that doesn't happen. Hey, do you want to talk about first the new card or the old cards? We could talk about the old card.
It's up to whatever you want. You take the lead.
Well, what do you think about the 282? What do you think about what do you think about the main event, Jan and Ankalaev? What were your thoughts? Because I got into some arguments with people on Twitter.
I was pissed off right at the bat. I didn't tweet nothing though, because I'm not like me. I'm not a real big social media guy.
Right.
But after I thought about it for a while and shit, I know there's definitely some fuckery. Patty didn't win that fight.
Right.
Jan won 3 rounds of that fight. 1 round could have been a tie. The last round was definitely a 10-8. When the Russian brought him down, he was beating him up. Jan was beat up. So you have to give it to the Russian. Now, I can see if they gave it to fucking Jan too. Either or. They have to give it to somebody.
Yeah, I
that's my honest opinion. That's my honest opinion. That's where I was. But then I could calm down and go, all right, then I had a third version of it. I'm like, it is what it is. There's been fuckery before many times. It's so WWF themed now. You see little kids in the crowd with Patty Plymouth fucking bowl cut, 1943 series size bowl cuts I used to get from my mother. And my friends' mothers would fix my hair after, right? And I'm like, calling that kid a winner that just went through hell, like I went through hell coming off all the pain pills and shit.
Yeah, Gordon.
Years, right? And he won that fight. And for him to get it taken away because more money down the fucking line for the next fight. Yeah. Green kills like my 45 caliber.
Let me ask you this, Granite. Let me ask you this.
Ask me anything, brother.
Let me ask you this. You're a boxer. So like
I used to be.
When I first started watching Patty, I was like, man, this guy gets hit with so many clean left hands. Now that being said, like I know, like when Sean O'Malley fights somebody that he knows can't really do something to him, he might put himself a little bit more in range. But Patty seems like he cannot dodge a left hand nor block a left hand, and eventually he's young, so he seems to be able to take a shot. But like, granted, can he be taught to not walk into the left hand, or what's the problem with him?
Well, he throws wild. His elbows ain't in. His chin's way up, and that's what I was trying to show you. I was trying to get you to say his chin leaves his chin way up in the air.
Yeah.
Yes, you can be taught that. Technique. It's called technique.
Yeah.
It's called technique. Striking. Like what he does is throw arm punches, but they're powerful. You know what I mean? They're powerful because he's really a 220-pound kid. He's a 220-pound kid that cuts down to fucking 155 or whatever the fuck, 200 down to 155. So, he needs to learn how to fucking throw punches and shit and be over here when he's landing. You know what I mean? Be over here when he's landing. You know what I mean? Elbows in, straight down the middle, not looping fucking lefts. If you throw no looping punches for a reason, technically, you're trying to go over the shoulder. You know what I mean? And slip the punch at the same time. So sometimes you'll loop it to go over the shoulder. But he throws wild.
I'm going to start putting money on him to be knocked out soon because, when you're young, I think you can take a punch. But, like, he takes such a clean left hand that eventually he's going to get stopped. by that. I feel like I've been watching him since I'm thinking he's called
Cage
out
Warriors, right? I seen him losing Cage Warriors. You seen him. I know you have.
Yeah.
Like you didn't think, and then people are saying Rojas couldn't win on Contender Series. I'm like, I was beating up guys. Me and my friends were fighting grown men when we were 16, 17, 18. So I know young kids can fight. And Patty's been beaten before. He's not elite. That was the hottest guy he fought in the UFC so far.
And he probably lost.
He definitely lost, but not on the win card.
That's right. So I'm going to speak my piece on Jan real quick. Now Jan, I feel like he won the first 3 rounds. He was 1 or 2 leg kicks away from stopping the Russian. I thought like he was close to leg kick stopping him. Yeah. And then he got crowded. He got taken down in the 4th. But here's my issue with the Russian and my issue with Joe Rogan. I feel like Joe Rogan talked Jan into that he lost when Jan shouldn't have said he lost because he didn't lose. I mean, I'm okay with the draw because it would have been three rounds, the first 3 to Jan and Blachowicz, and then the 10-9 for Ankalaev in the 4th, and the 10-8 is a draw. But my problem with Ankalaev crying afterwards was if John Jones gets you down, if DC gets you down, if Khabib gets you down for 4 minutes and 40 seconds of a round, it's over. Like, there is no way out of that. You are
elbows, smash. You're right. You're absolutely
done.
right.
There's no judges. If 4 minutes and 40 seconds you're on the ground with usually a champion, they finish you. They do not let it go to the judges. 4 minutes and 40 seconds was the 5th round of being on top. He should have ended it. It's his fault he didn't end it. It's
what
his
you
fault.
said right there. You never leave it in judge's hand. Finish it.
And any champ would have. DC, John Jones, Khabib, it is over. It is Usman. Usman maybe not, but these.
Usman would try at least
440. I think he probably would have finished the guy too with that kind of control. 440 on top. Anyway, so that's my piece on that. And then the crazy part is that the next one is Hill versus Teixeira. So they're rewarded for this. This is crazy, right?
Well, Teixeira already deserved that shot.
Yeah, that's
true.
What I
mean? So here's what I thought. To see the Russian fucking come back after all those leg kicks and ignoring the pain. That's what people don't understand about it's all mental. When you go, you got to ignore pain. And, he should have been taking him down from the get-go. You know what I mean? Instead of waiting 3 rounds. But he does have faster hands. And he was connecting with Jan, but Jan kicked his leg so hard that he didn't have as much power. Because when you're throwing punches, everything's coming from the balls of your feet. And it's all torque. Yeah. And it's all it's all in rhythm. You know what I mean? Everything's perfect. And I noticed his punching wasn't as good. The more leg kicks he kept getting hit with, his punches lost power and lost speed. You know what I mean? So I don't know if both of them didn't use good fight IQ. Both of them.
That's true. It's true. All right, Grant. Let's put up the thing. Let's get to the new picks. Let's. I got last week's group pick 'em. So there's you up on the top left. There's me on the bottom.
Shit.
We got the gorilla and we got the man with no filter, Sean Strickland, right there. So there they are. Listen to the next one, Grant.
Hold on one sec. Okay, I got it right there. Okay.
All right. Oh, I might be able to.
Look at that. Look at Insight.
Yo. So I won again, Granted. Okay.
Hey, I was in first. I told you. You said, Granted. I go, it's too early, bro. I'm probably going to be in 10th place because here's the deal. Listen, if you have the most wins over the year, the most just wins, that should be the winner. And it's not Jay's fault because this is the way he did the last 2 years.
Who has the most wins?
You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Who has it?
I guarantee at the end of this, bro, right? Yeah. I will, whoever doesn't win, there'll be 5-6 people with really close to the amount of wins for the whole year. Right next to
that. But some people I missed a couple weeks.
No Insight. Here it is. No, here's why I'm explaining this, right? All right, just because you won first place a couple times during the year doesn't mean you did good the rest of the fucking year.
Yeah, that's true, but it should be based.
No, I know it's numbers. You're a teacher.
But it can't be based on just wins because
it should be though.
It's got to be based on percentage of what we picked because my percentage could be higher if I missed 5 weeks because I didn't play. Like you could say there could be a prize for who.
Oh yeah. No. I'm not. Yeah, that's a good point. And Jay, I think Jay explained that to me one time. He goes, "That's the reason I do it." You know, he goes, "It should be wins, but this is the reason." And you know what? You're right.
Percentage, just like
you're right.
Like
you're right.
But I see your point too.
He's right.
I see your point though. If you come to play,
I just go for wins. I just go. That's all I'm keeping track of. If I won, I was going to give him half, and I go.
Yeah, but if you have a good point, if you come to play and don't miss weeks, you deserve. Yeah, because you play all the time. You know,
I've never missed since we started.
Yeah. So I won again. So just so you people know, I'm in the running. I think there's 1 or 2 left. 1 left. This is it. I don't know.
Well, you're the one that got me on this channel to become friends with Ken and Jay. It was all you.
So I'm 1 away. If I win, I win. I guess I win.
I want you to win.
So let's go over some of these quick picks. I don't really spend a lot of time.
I'm sorry, bro. I didn't mean to go. I didn't mean to.
No, I did it. I hit it.
Oh, okay. All right, you do it. Go ahead.
So we got the first fight. We'll go through these fights. These are the prelims. We got.
Hey, I love this that we have the same systems. You have the pace, I have the pace, so you could control any of my calls. Yeah. So
awesome. We got Sergey versus Journey Newsom. So this is the first fight on the card. 13 fights, pretty nice. I got my wife.
Didn't we lose a fight?
We might have. I don't know. I know
do we have 15 fights at first? Didn't we lose a couple?
There's 13 that I put in today. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
But
I thought we lost some.
I don't know if any of the I did these today. We could look. Sometimes we definitely lose them. I'm not really sure. But these are the early ones. I got my wife's work party, so I probably won't even be able to get to watch these. Granted, but I do some weird picks. I've been winning, but I never feel confident. I pick these picks. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? So it's a heavily favored Kazakhstan. I got him by decision versus Journey Nelson, who's 10-3. Let me make this bigger so I can see.
Journey Nelson.
So he's 10-3 versus 18-5. Moderate favor, minus 240. That's who I have. What are you going with here, Granite?
I got Morozov too. But here's the thing: Newsom can knock out Morozov. I'm just letting people know out there. Newsom isn't a tomato can.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and they're both the same age. The reach is almost exact. Like they're almost identical.
Reach, everything. Yeah. Reach it. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely correct.
So we both agree on that one. Let's hit the next. Yeah. So this one, I went with the underdog, Granite. So this is a weird pick by Insight. Hang on. We got David Dvorak.
Don't say weird picks because I always do weird picks because I don't gamble. So I don't have nothing to lose, so I'll take a chance.
So these guys are almost identical too. Granted, look, you got I know. They're the same age, right?
Cape.
One's from Portugal, Cape, and one is from Czech Republic. You got this almost the same reach, 68, right? They're both 5'5". It's crazy, like clones of each other. Now, I know Cape carries some muscle. I feel like so. I'm thinking that Dvorak.
There's one difference. There's one difference, though, bro.
Yeah.
Cape is 7th, and there's 2. 7th, and he's the other. David is ranked 11th, and we got 1 loss for David and 4 wins in a row prior to that, and Cape is 3-2 in his last 5.
Right. So I can see Dvorak like gassing him out and getting a decision on an upset. So I picked Dvorak. I mean, it's an upset. It's a weird pick. It's one of those ones where on that pick'em, Granted, when I move up and people move down, because I pick some weird shit like this.
I don't think. I'm the same way. I don't go with what everyone else goes with. I go with what I think.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I was thinking that same thing, and you have that's a good pick actually. I was just gonna tell you, I took Cape. I didn't think I took Cape. I did take Cape. I did my homework.
Yeah,
and I just had a gut. It was too close to pick. You know what I mean? It's one of those. It could have went either way.
Yeah,
I took Cape. and I got him in a round 3 KO. I think it's going to be like a war. You know, I think Kate might last. You know, his cardio might do well.
Okay, all right, cool. Next, and there's actually a couple good fights on this card too. Like midway up, we got some pretty good names.
Yeah, it gets better and better and better. It keeps you watching. You know, you'll be watching it here and there. You'll be checking.
Yeah, I'll be on my phone.
I know.
So we got Brian Battle, who's 8-1. Doesn't have a lot of UFC experience, but he's a tough kid. I've seen him fight. He's 8-1 versus
yeah, he is
I'm not even trying to say Renat's full name. He's from Russia. He's 31. So
Renat. We'll just call him Renat. Yeah.
Battle's got the reach. He's an underdog plus 125. He's got the reach. He's younger, but I'm gonna go with the Russian here with the slight favorite by decision. But I almost went with Battle, Grant. I almost went with him, but I didn't.
I went with Battle.
There you go.
Round 3. KO, TKO, and
I like.
Here's the thing. I think you might be right on your pick, though.
I like what you did though. Hey, if I went with the dog on the last one, and you went with the dog on this one, but these dogs are pretty live dogs.
Yeah, they're live dogs. Hey, here's the deal. Everyone's an underdog in one of these fights, unless you're elite.
Right.
Even if you're elite, you can lose.
Yeah.
No, mixed martial arts especially, you can lose. My Bellator record, my percentage is a lot better. My boxing percentage on Tapology is 100%.
Wow, that's crazy. Killing it. So this next one, Grant, it's interesting because I've gone with young Chinese guys before and been burned. Like these 22, 21-year-olds that they're hype up and they're usually big favorites, and I pick them and then they get whopped, and I'm like, what just happened?
Because of the lack of wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is usually?
So this guy's 9-1. Worldwide, he's ranked 70th. The other guy's ranked 67. So again, they're matching some close matchups here, right?
Really close.
Versus Mexico. I do love Mexican boxers.
I love my Mexican guys too, you know.
I just like them.
I like my Chinese people too, you know.
Yeah. So Garcia's 14-3, a little more experience, very close line. I'm just gonna go Garcia with having more experience with the decision, but again, a tough pick.
It is a tough pick. I have Garcia with a submission round 2.
Woo, nice.
The only reason is China has great fighters.
Yes.
They need to come to America and go to or go to Russia, go to Dagestan and go wrestle and work on their because they're good everywhere else. Wind, kicks, punches, everything they're good at. They just need to work on their wrestling, their jiu-jitsu, grappling and stuff.
You want them to go to the school of Leon Edwards, right? Like Leon.
Yeah, exactly. Something or takedown defense, something.
Right.
But Wei Li Zhang don't have that problem.
Right.
She's the only one, even out of the men, she don't have that problem.
Exactly. Next we got a Nurmagomedov. I can never say Khabib's last name. Anyway, we got. I think it's.
I know. No, you can say it. You said it plenty times perfectly. It's just one of those tongue twisters.
Nurmagomedov.
Yep.
Anyway, this is Syed. Is he cousin? Is he related? I can never keep. I think he's not related, but I can never keep it straight.
I think he is related. I think he's a cousin, brother. But I could be wrong, but I'm like 75% sure and not just because of his last name. I thought I seen him. I read something about his whole family in the MMA that fights.
I'm gonna look it up.
I think he's a cousin.
Now he's not. It doesn't say Dagestan
Nope.
on his thing, which is weird.
Nope.
Hang on. So
Russia's a big country.
Yeah, it is. And so he's a plus 120, minus 120 favorite, close favorite. Syed, they're not related.
Oh, they're not. Okay, all right. That was the other guy with the beard that looks like him that got beat up in Bellator last week. That's his cousin.
Wait,
didn't he? It looks just.
Wait,
like him.
I thought he won in Bellator.
Or whatever, the guy that won, or
that's his cousin. He got the belt, I think.
Yeah. No, that's Usman who got the belt.
Usman.
Yeah, no, the guy that fought last week.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, he was Khabib's cousin. He lost.
Oh, Usman is too, I think.
Usman could beat anybody in the UFC.
He's pretty good. Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's the best striker. He's better than Khabib, better than Islam, better than them all.
Yeah. So I got number. I can't even say the other guy's name. Forget it. But I got him by decision here. I feel like he wins a lot of decisions. So what are you doing on this one?
I got the same. That's my same exact pick. Okay. I don't even know if you can see it, but
it's got to hold it at a weird angle to see it.
Hold on. I got to darken it.
There you go.
Well, weird angle. Huh?
Oh yeah. I can see it.
You see it? Can you see it? Okay. Yeah, I was already there. Yeah, I had the same thing. That's the conclusion I came to too, bro. And Tapology, 74%, has the same thing.
So next we got a good one. So Jake Matthews was a bit of prospect. He's 17th in the world, versus 35 in the world. Schmelzberger, who's a pretty jacked up guy. Both guys have got some good UFC experience. One's from Australia.
The Jedi.
Matthews got a pretty good following. Granted, he's still only 28. Granted,
And I like the Australian guys. Those guys fight with heart. Don't they all fight with heart?
The other guys from Jay's backyard, Maryland.
No, I know. Oh, I know that. I noticed that right away. I'm like, fucking Baltimore, a Baltimore kid.
Yeah.
But Jay will tell you there's certain parts of same with Jersey where you are, there's certain parts of where I live is the city, the two cities.
Yeah.
But you go out west, it's like Hickland, you know what I mean? Or you go down south, it's really Hick. It all depends when you grow up in those parts, those cities. Who did I take here? I got Matthews, round 2, KO TKO. Nice. That's what I had on here.
Yeah, I have him by decision. But yeah, I think he's gonna.
And I feel bad going against a Baltimore guy, but I'll never go against Tank Davis though.
Yeah. Oh, Tank Davis, the boxer. Yeah. Whoa, hang on. All right, so this one's interesting.
Hold on. I'm sorry, but did I do that?
I did it. Oh, hang on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Matthews. Okay, next one.
I had a blue screen. I hit a button by accident. It turned blue.
Yeah, I hit my mouse a couple times. Anyway, next one we have Cheyenne Vilsma versus Corey McKenna. Now, Corey McKenna, interestingly enough, granted, lost to Elise Reed. My cousin trains with Elise Reed from the UFC. She's got some losses in the UFC. She doesn't usually fight at her weight, but McKenna is Wales. She's young, 23 still.
Tough. She's tough too.
Yeah, she is tough. I went against her. The other girl's tough as well. 24 versus 28 world. So they're really matching close.
I went against her too. You're right.
Yeah. I mean,
I understand. Well, I don't mean you're right. I said I understand why you did. I went kind of for the same reason. She's young, not just because she's young. Because I watched her fight, and what's her name? Has more. Don't you think she's more technical and more?
She has a lot bigger reach too. She's got 5-inch reach.
The reach is outstanding, and the IQ too. Though the IQ, I think, is and the reach. Those two reasons is for me.
Yeah, and it's crazy in the UFC. It's crazy in the UFC. It's almost like, is McKenna learning? Or is she losing? Or does she learn from if she loses again? She'll be 2-3 in her last. If she loses, she'll be 2-3 in her last 3. So I mean, she's so young though. It's I don't know, that 5-inch reach. She's her reach is really short. No matter who she fights, she probably is giving up reach, right?
Oh yeah, she's definitely giving up reach with a lot of fighters. What do you think? Do you think? Velismus, if she wins, does she get closer to a fight with a top 1 or 2?
Yeah, I mean,
or a top 10 fighter. I mean,
at least top 15. It looks like, but
top 15.
Yeah, okay. I think so.
I was wondering. That's all.
I've been talking about the guys that bet a lot. It's like they just stay away from women's.
I know.
It's so hard to predict it.
It is
MMA.
It is. Pulse says hello. I just let you yo, what's up, Pulse?
Who's it? Pulse IQ?
Pulse says hello. He said, yo, Rob. And,
there he is.
Yeah. I know he knows you. I know that. I know you guys know each other. I mean.
So granted, on my slides here, just so you know, see how it went yellow? That means we're in the main card, granted.
Oh, I love that. I love that, though.
So It changes because it goes from the red to the
I gotta
yellow.
learn how to do the slide. That's the last thing I gotta learn on this. How to do the
Yeah,
slide.
I gotta show you that because
no, you were showing it to me. I didn't have time.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It's like a Saturday morning.
You almost taught me. You almost had me, and then I had to leave.
Yeah, because you can put some cool stuff up and talk about it, I'm sure. You like to, you know. Cool
especially I need video too, though, to do it too. But
yeah, the video we couldn't put on the slide. Remember, you had to.
I found another way to do that, and
you're good at that.
Yeah, so I'm learning. You're gonna see a lot better too.
So we got Cody Brundage.
I just upgraded in tech, so it's coming before Christmas, so it's all gonna be good.
I like to figure out what Jay uses because like Jay could do all like the
Jay. I already know. No, he uses OBS.
Yeah, like could you figure it out or I never tried?
Oh yeah, no, I can't. Put it this way, I would recommend StreamYard for people like me and you that ain't as tech savvy. But we get better as we do it every day. You know what I mean? Right. That's why I always tell people that ask me, I go, you're just going to do it every day. Yeah. Like when they say press record, that's literally what it takes. Yeah. Just do it the more you do it, the more you do it. But it's weird talking to a camera with someone not behind that camera.
Yeah.
That's all. I've never been nervous before in my life other than that, or in court. When I was young, I'd be nervous a little bit,
There you go. So let's get to the main card here, Reddit. So we got Cody Brundage versus Michael Oleschuk. So Oleschuk, they both have 2 losses on their 5 fight tapologies. Oleschuk is a minus 275 favorite. Brundage, he's a decent pro. Like he's 8-2. He's 28 years old. The other guy's 27. Reach is only 2 off.
He's a tough kid.
Yeah, he is a tough kid, man. I went with the Polish kid though, by decision. He's a little bit of a favorite. Seems like, but like again, these are the ones where I could see somebody picking the upset, but I went that way. What'd you do?
I went with Cody.
Nice.
Brundage.
I don't mind that.
I have a submission in round 3.
Nice. You see, hey,
when they're all sweaty and fucking bloody, you know what I mean? That's
nice.
That's the hottest pick.
Look, now you're at the bottom of the. See, I went on the slides. Now I'm at the top. You're at the bottom now.
Oh, I like that. I like it, bro. You can do whatever you want to. You're
holding down the bottom. Look, you got the muscles out right there. Granted,
I got the muscles out there.
So this is a good one. Now, did you hear Drew Dober speak about what's his name with the haircut? The guy we just talked about. What's
Patty?
Patty. Yeah, Dober's like, I'd love to fight him, but they're not going to allow me to fight him. Dober's like, yeah, I'll take the fight in London. He's like, I'd love to go to the O2 Arena. Dober's got like watches. He's like a model. He's always like, and like he wanted a piece of it. Now, this is a cool fight. Everybody loves Bobby Green. I love Bobby Green.
I like Bobby Green. Yeah, I do too.
Dober's a favorite. It's funny because I remember watching Dober and I thought he was going to be somebody. And then he took some bad losses, but then he's beaten some good dudes too. Like, and he's still 34.
And he's tough. He can take punches. He can take punches.
He's tough. I got Dober. I just think like Bobby can beat a lot of guys. He's like a pro's pro. He's 29-13. He's like at the Masvidal record, right?
He's got the balls. He's got the balls.
And he's got great hands. But I just think Dober can submit him and will in the second round, kind of like not like Makachev, but similar to it. So what are you doing? What are you doing with Dober here?
I have Dober on a decision. I think it's going to be like a war, but Dober's going to take him down a bunch of times and squeeze him.
Yeah.
I like Bobby Green too. I don't know how I came up with that, but no, my son started his senior year this year, so everything's been fucked up. So I haven't been able to do my regular routine, but I got to watch some of these, most of these fights. I did like watch 1, 2, 3 of each person. Before I make my picks, I do my research. If I don't, even though I know most of the guys, we got so much talent coming in. It's such a great time to be a fucking MMA fan, even though I've been a fan since the beginning.
Yeah.
Since Bruce Lee and fucking Chuck Norris movies. I mean, I've been, MMA and boxing, obviously, since I was 9. Oh, yeah, 9 years old, 1980 with Marvin Hagler. So I don't know how I came to this decision, but I know Dober can take a punch.
Yeah.
I know he's gonna fucking not gonna give up. I think he's a better wrestler. And
yeah, definitely for sure.
I don't know, brother. That's the reason I have him. I got him in a decision. I don't know why I took the decision. I forget.
Hey, if Bobby Green wins, though, I'm always happy. Like, I can't lose this. If Dober wins, I win on the pick'em. But if Bobby Green wins, I just like Bobby Green. You know, do you remember Bobby Green? So one of Bobby Green's first fights in the UFC, his like fighting style was like hood. It put like hood or something like that. Like it was like hood fighting or something. Like I forgot what it was. It was something real gangster. Like, what's your style, hood?
I love that. That's a good way of putting it. You know what I mean? Hey, Jay, you see Jay Insight Granite. Two bosses. I love this fight. Possibly best of the night. I'm leaning Dober. And then Paul said, can we call in through Discord?
Yeah, I mean, they could probably.
I have a phone, Pulse. I just got to put it together, a burner phone, so I'm going to leave a number so people could call.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You can ask Insight that question.
I mean, if you're in the Discord, I don't know if I don't have Discord, but maybe he could call your phone through the Discord. I'm not really sure how that works.
You can call me through the if you call through the Discord, I could probably take a call. But wait till we're done with these fights.
Yeah,
so we can,
and I actually have to go get my daughter in about 7 minutes. So
exactly. So let's get through these fights and then you can call through.
Yeah, he can call through after I leave. I might be able to come back if you're still on. So
I got my son's game, so I'm gonna have to make this like an hour.
So we got you led right into this nicely, Granny. You said Bruce Lee, and now we have Bruce Leroy right here. Okay.
I know. I love Bruce Leroy.
Me too. And what? I didn't really like him. I liked him at the beginning, but then I was like, but he's really like, he had that 4-fight win streak. I was like, wow, this guy's on fire. Then he got beat, but I think he fought somebody really good. So
then you see him beat somebody you didn't think he's gonna beat.
Right.
You know, he fights with hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I got him winning by decision over Erosa. He's the underdog again. So I picked another underdog. I've been doing that, though. So if anybody wants to follow me down the underdog train, go ahead. What are you doing on this one, Granite?
Where the fuck is Bruce Leroy? Did we lose that fight?
I don't know.
What fight did we just do?
We just did Dober.
Yeah. So okay, Bruce Leroy. I got Arosa in this one, KO TKO round 2, round 3. I'm sorry, because the only reason I love Bruce Leroy, but the last time I picked him, he let me down versus someone who he should have beat, and I just think he's not taking it as seriously now. You know. Yeah. I think we created a bunch of savages in the past 2.5+ years since the shutdown. I think we've gained a lot of new, the talent's getting better and better. It already was. I think it accelerated it. But I think some of these guys, they fight and they just want to get a big following on social media, and then they can do like a fucking podcast, or they can do something where they can make a lot of money doing that too.
Yeah.
So not all these guys hots are in it to become a champion. They're in there just to prize fight, make money, and sustain a good lifestyle. You know what I mean?
I hear you. So next one is Albazi versus Costa. Again, heavy favorite from Iraq. I'm not big. I don't know much about Iraqi fighters too much. 126 pounds. He looks bigger. Costa from Brazil, 12-2, number one in Latin America. The other guy's 9 overall, though. Flyweight worldwide, Albazi. So
hey, number one in Latin America is pretty hard to beat, because just to get through South America and Latin America, what Pacquiao had to go through just to get the Mickey Roach.
Right.
You wouldn't believe the animals he had to fight all the way from the bottom all the way up.
Yeah. So who do you got in this one, Granite?
I have who do I have? I have Albazi, the Iraq. The only reason I did this, because what happened over there, what they've been going through for the last 20 years over there, 30 years, since 1991. When I tried to go in the Marine Corps instead of going to prison, but I just think they're all savages over there. Like, you go through war, shit like that, you're fucking that era's going to grow up savages, believe me. So that's the reason I went with him.
Yeah.
It'll be a feel-good story to see Iraqi win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's a good one. So next one we got, because I gotta go.
Yeah, I know. No,
we got Arman versus Demir, and this is a great one. Again, it's 9 versus 11. Arman lost his last fight, but he's 18-3. The Kazakhstan is 24-1. I got Arman by decision. What are you doing? This is a big one. What are you doing on it?
I got Arman too, and I think this would go either way, people. I don't think any pick is bad here, and I'm going with a guy that just had a loss. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's very hard for me to do that sometimes.
Yeah, I hear that.
Because he got knocked out fucking 8 months ago, but I always say 6 months you should take off after you get knocked out.
Yep.
And he took 8 months off, so I went with that's the only reason, and it's so close in a decision.
Yeah, that's a tough one, though. That could sway the pool.
It go either way.
Real hard one. Now I can't wait to hear your pick on this, Granite. So we got Cannonier, the Killer Gorilla, versus Sean Strickland. Cannonier lost to Izzy,
the champion,
and Strickland lost to Pereira. Right, so the champ, and he lost to the and then Cannonier also lost to Whitaker. He got his forearm broken in that fight. Fought through it. Cannonier dealt with a lot of frustration versus Izzy. Couldn't really do much, and Izzy didn't do much either. But Strickland is a very big presence outside the octagon, but in the octagon, he's really just a jab guy. Jab, 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 jab. I don't think that's enough to beat Jared. I got Jared catching him. So what are you doing here?
Yeah, I got Jared in round 2.
Boom.
That's all right. This is the reason, real quick, before you gotta go. Yeah. When Sean Strickland walked into Pereira and said, "I'll never let no kickboxer fucking knock me out or outbox me," he walked in with his hands like this, and one left the bang, and then a couple rights fucking for good measure while he was falling down, knocked him out, call, and then he says, "This is the main reason. I'm in the shower like every American should be with an AK-47. I go, first of all, that's a preferred weapon of the enemy.
I saw that.
An AR-15 is American fucking, you fucking moron." And I say it to his fucking face.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm with you on that. Hey, Granite, it was great being here. I'm gonna leave my screen on.
You know that. You can come on anytime, bro.
So that you can have the slides. I'm just gonna mute. If you need to remove me, I'm gonna leave my thing going though. So if somebody calls in and you want to scroll back to the fights, do so. Hey, cheers to you, Granite.
Cheers to you, brother. Cheers to you, brother. I'm doing it with a joint.
I'll see you next time.
With a drink. Actually, I'll do it with iced coffee, brother. All right. Yeah, I'm doing you bad luck like that with a joint. Drinks for you. All right, thank you, Insight, for joining me, brother. I appreciate it. I got my son's fucking game tonight. Let me see. So let me read some comments. I haven't read no comments. We had to do those picks. Those are your picks, people. My percent, I got like 170 wins over losses, 170 plus wins over losses in a year and 5 months coming up on. And it's only UFC, Bellator. My Bellator is better than my UFC, my percentage, right? And I'm in the 60% range or whatever, but I'll be up there. I'll be up in the 70% range soon, probably sometime this year. I don't know when. It goes up a little bit every time, but it's very hard to pick UFC fights. And boxing is like 100%. And I only pick I think I pick one once in a while. I'll pick just a couple fights if the fighters I know. I'll take Mighty Mouse every time because he's in my top 5. Mount Rushmore, I don't think you can have 4 Mount Rushmore MMA. I think you need fucking 5, you know what I mean? Or 6 or 7 or 8 or 10. And I don't know. And see, when I do that, I go on a rant. Can we call through Discord? Jay would know that if you could call through Discord, but you could try and I'll go on Discord and you could try Pulse anytime, brother. I got it on Discord right now, so go ahead, brother. If you want to try to call in, bro, I'll answer it. Let me see. Insight Grid to us. I'm leaning Doba. Yeah, I took Doba too, Jay. I think I took Doba. I'm pretty sure I took Doba. Yeah, he's a tough kid, Doba. And I think he's gonna take. He can take. I think he can take him to the ground more. And who knows? We'll see what happens. That could go. That's a good fight. You know what I mean? We don't know. I wonder, does the winner get Pimblett? You know what I think is going to happen with Pimblett, because it's a business. I think everyone realizes this now. I mean, that was WWF themed. Like I said at the beginning of this program, like you've seen all the little kids with Patty Pimblett, and I don't hate Patty as a man. I respect any man or woman that gets in any ring, octagon, cage, anything. I respect that person. Doesn't necessarily mean I agree with their actions or whatever the fuck. You know, we're not always going to agree on everything, but we could, you know, agree to disagree or compromise, or you know, have some. That's why 15 people, smart people, wrote the Declaration of Independence. You know, all our constitutional rights, because one person cannot say what you can fucking do and can't do. That could be your parents or something when you're a kid. I grew up with a single mother, so that's a whole different story. But she, you know, I actually respected my mother till like the third fucking wooden spoon broke on my head, and it didn't hurt no more. And I'm like, Ma, you're hurting yourself more than you're hurting me. And I'd run away for 2-3 days, go to my friend's house and sleep there. And it was just funny. It makes me laugh to this day because I still laugh. I was a wise ass, you know what I mean? But yeah, when a mother has to, you know, be a fucking father and a mother, it's not easy on the mother, you know? So I don't blame my mother, you know what I mean? I'm not a little bitch, you know what I mean? I'm a fucking grown man. But Pimblett, for him to get out of that fight, now listen, automatically I thought, you know, Pimblett didn't win. I thought the Russian should have got the friggin' the belt. Or even if Jan got the belt, I would have been happy either way, because Jan did beat up his legs for 3 rounds. Just the pain, like ignoring that pain, the Dagestani and the mental fortitude, the presence enough in it's like leaving a part of your soul in that octagon. That's exactly what it is. It's a little piece of your soul. So you can never take what he said serious, because I guess he regrets. I bet you Khabib was on the phone with him after the fight, after the Russian had a couple drinks. The Dagestani, I respect Dagestanis a lot. Anyone that knows me knows I respect them, because they train, you know, I train the same way they train. Like, I probably was training before they were even born, like that. You know what I mean? So not that I'm old, but 50 fucking 2 in January 7th, I'll be 52. So, but I feel like I'm about 32. So, you know, not bad. Yeah, I thought, because the Dagestani brought him down for those 2 rounds, even with them hurt 2 legs, even after switching fucking stances, you know, orthodox to southpaw to orthodox. And Jan was just picking it. And I said it, Jay, I think you remember this if you're still listening, Jay. I said it. The only way, I said to somebody, I think you repeated it live. I said the only way Jan can win is if he uses his body kicks and keeps his range. And that's what he did. And it made my Russian, and I had the Russian. I like that Russian fighter. And not that I don't like Jan. It's always the case. I like both fighters. Mixed martial arts. Jan, I like Jan. I said Jan can only win by knocking him out, or you know, with body kicks, and then set up the knockout. But that Dagestani did not quit. Took him down both rounds, you know, 4th and 5th round, which are the championship rounds, people. I think you could have gave the Dagestani the first round, or the third, or the second. I forget if it was the third or the second or the first. It might have been the third. He might have took Jan down in the third to stop the leg kicks, and that's when the momentum shifted. I forget on this fight. But anyways, just taking all that punishment and then taking him down and ground and pound him. He was actually fucking, because Jan on the mic did himself wrong too, because he's such a nice guy and, you know, has a lot of character. And he felt he lost the fight too. but he was being pressured. You know what I mean? He was definitely being pressured. No fighter goes up there and says, I think I lost a fight. You go up there and say, if it was that close, you say, hey, you know, I'll settle for the draw. I'm upset I didn't get the win. You know what I mean? You got to sell your brand. You can't like train that hard and this long and get the championship and then go fight a savage like that Dagestani and fucking and say, you know, you won. Now, did I think he won right up the, you know, just thinking off from watching it and emotionally? Yeah, I thought the Russian got robbed. Dagestani man got robbed. That's the way I thought. Then I watched it again, and that's why I'm shocked. I can't remember. Maybe because I'm high or something from the weed. I'm just joking. I'm not. I watched so many fights. These fights on this card the past couple nights because my son's basketball senior year just started, so rushing around to get the games and shit. So I was watching a lot of video on these fighters for this week. You know, so I got it mixed up. I don't know if I got it mixed up with the Paddy Pimblett, my man that won the fight, that fought Paddy Pimblett. But when you go back and objectively and look at it a couple times, you know, 2 times, watch the fight one more time, not emotionally, you know, invested in it, watch it the next day, or, you know, watch it again 3 times if you have to, because sometimes you have to watch fights 3-4 times. I had to do that with my hero, John Jones, my favorite mixed martial artist. I wouldn't be starstruck if I seen him. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those fanboys. I would say respect. I'd shake his hand like a man, and I'd say, yo, one of the only guys I probably, you know, I don't know, I'd probably have to shoot you or stick my gun in your mouth or fucking hit you with a fucking aluminum baseball bat. Like, I don't know if I could beat you with your reach. And I don't fear no man. So, and that's the truth. I'm not trying to be a tough guy. I'm just being honest. It's like when you watch some of his fights, a diluted version of John Jones, you got to see John Jones, even though it looks like he's losing, and he does lose rounds in his last 3 fights. He was losing rounds or last 2 fights. And you would see him make that adjustment, and that's what champions do. If you go back and watch those fights, who gives a fuck about what he does outside the cage? Inside that fucking cage, he's a fucking savage. I'm looking for your phone call, brother. I've been waiting for it. I don't see it, brother, but I'm going to go on there and look just to let you know, Pulse, that I am here, brother. Yeah, so I feel bad for Glover, but Glover made out in it. I kind of felt bad for Anthony Smith, but I respect Anthony Smith a lot, too. He's got a commentator job. How can he bitch and complain? He's making more as a commentator, right? And being just on call and probably doing only half the cards or a third of the cards or 2/3 of the cards or whatever it is for ESPN and shit through the UFC, you know what I mean? So he's making a lot of scratch, you know what I mean? That's a good paying job. That's better money than I made as a minor, and I made good money, you know what I mean? So, and you'd be on a desk talking about shit that you're passionate about, you know? I don't think Anthony Smith is championship caliber fighter. When he fought John Jones, he said, "Oh, he's gonna have to face somebody he's never faced." I'm like, he's never faced before. All John Jones ever beat was legends. That's all he ever did. It made it look easy. It was like a man amongst boys. So I couldn't understand that. And then when he got in there, got hit with the first spinning back kick to the fucking sternum, fucking ribs. He was AD all night. He didn't do nothing the rest of the fight. But the character he showed when he got hit with a legal kick in the head or the knee to the head or whatever the fuck it was, when he didn't want to win the belt like that, I respected him so much. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I just got to be honest. He got to be grateful he has that commentary job. And we all know, anyone that knows fighting and kind of has a read on Dana White knows Dana White made that up to him. I'm sure he made it up to him, and I'm pretty sure Bisping on the Bisping, because I do watch, you know, elite podcasts with elite people on there, like John McCarthy, who's been there since the beginning. since I was watching it in 93, 94, when I was getting VHS tapes, and once in a while you get it on TV at Trump fucking Plaza somewhere, and Trump would, call somebody that had an arena upstate New York, or all obscure places outside the city, or really fucking in the red zone, you know what I mean, or somewhere, you know what I mean, like in the red district, just really obscure places for fights, because everyone was scared to death of it, you know what I mean? And I'm sure he took Anthony Smith. I don't really think Anthony Smith can be the champion, but I'll admit, if he becomes champion, I'll say I was a fucking asshole for saying it. I just don't think I don't want to, he's a nice guy. If you don't got to go in there with these killers, you don't have to go get your knee fucking, he had the last injury. He's looked good the past couple fights prior to this injury. And, he's not that consistent. I mean, he's not, he's probably a 70% win percentage or 60%, which ain't bad in mixed martial arts. He's a good fighter. There's just a lot more better fighters than him. And it's not, I respect Anthony Smith a lot. As a man, as a human, he seems like a good dude. Seems like he's got that like craziness in his mind like I do. But he's just really nice about it. You know what I mean? But Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska, I don't fucking know. Like, what the fuck could be going on out there that could be worse than the city where like a lot of us grew up that are on the northeast fucking coast, the east coast of America, or in LA or fucking Vegas and all these other cities. Little Rock, Arkansas, they used to have a bad gang member problem down there. There's problems everywhere. You know what I mean? There's violence everywhere. See, this is what younger generation don't understand. And it's not a knock against you younger people. It's not a knock at all, because you younger people are our future. So I'm not shitting on you people at all. You just you got to understand, if you respect your father or your mother or anybody, right? You ask them what it was if they grew up in a tough neighborhood or whatever, really, known for drugs and all that shit. And then you come back and tell me that, it wasn't like that in the 80s and 90s or in the 70s, for that fucking matter. Totally different generations. But I believe this generation is one of the best. The kids are so smart. They're so nice. I mean, I really see a lot of kindness out of this generation. And it's a lot of, as a man with kids, 2 kids, and the last one about to let it go up to college. It's hard to let your kids go. Once you have kids out there, whoever has kids out there understands that. And if you have young kids, those are the best years, because once they get older, they start, you got to kind of let them go on their own and make, I don't have that problem. My kids, I'm very, very blessed every day. I Hail Mary, thank you, Lord, and all that great stuff, and all boring stuff to some people, you know what I mean? But I'm very grateful. You know what I mean? I have a great mother to my kids. I wonder, does the winner Pimblett? I think he gets though. I think Pimblett's gonna fight the kid who beat up the guy from Arkansas there. I had him too. Said he had the flu last week. I think he's gonna fight the guy that won that fight. I think that's gonna be the next fight. I think Pimblett can't beat anyone in the top 50. Well, he could, but odds are he ain't gonna beat anyone in the top 15 right now, the way he's fighting. And he definitely did not win that fight. And fight of the night, it's like, you got to look at this, like, question everything. You young people out there, question everything. Even if your teacher or professor says something that you just have, like, you have a little fucking scratchy head moment or whatever you guys call it, right? Like, say, hey, Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so or whatever they prefer to be called, right? Question it. Always question everything. Question anything you think that, you know what I mean, that you think something's not right. Because believe it or not, you have a higher IQ than some of your professors. If they didn't live, most professors, they went to college, lived a good life, right? And then they right from college, they stayed a professor at that college. So they're in that fucking system. You know what I mean? Whatever they're told to do, they do. So that is what people don't understand. You know what I mean? And it's I don't want any teacher telling my fucking kids how to fucking think, how to act, any of that shit. My best advice to anybody out there with kids, tell your kids, lead, don't follow, never take shit from nobody, respect your elders, be nice until it's time not to be nice, and always listen to your mother and fucking father. All right? And that's it. You know what I mean? And go to Sunday school and get baptized. Like, I'm Catholic, and me and my wife are Catholic. So, you know, our kids are baptized. Sunday school for my daughter, for my son for a little while. Then they knocked down the Sunday school. And you know, it was just like, nah, no more. The pedophilia thing got me a little pissed off. So, you know, but doesn't mean I don't believe in Jesus or God. You know what I mean? It's just, I believe there's a bunch of gods. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. I don't even know if it's true, but I definitely know there's something up there looking out for me, because I should have been dead at least 1,000 times. I know there's something up there. You know what I mean? Or if people believe whatever you believe in there, you have spirituality, that's a good thing, because it leads you to live a more disciplined, a more, you know, I'd say be kinder. Kill them with kindness, you know what I mean? Until you got to literally kill them. And that's a joke, you know what I mean? Until you got to hit them, you know what I mean? Like Tyson used to say, you know, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the body of the head, right? They get punched in the mouth, whatever, right? And that's very true. That's part of life, people. You'll find out who your real friends are when shit gets real, okay? That's when you'll find out who your real friends are. These fighters about IQ and all that shit, when you win that fight, you get that mic, you got to sell your brand. You got to say, listen, I want to fight the toughest motherfucker in my division. I want to keep going up the fucking ranks. And that's what you should want to fucking do. Like, if you get to the championship, and that should be your mindset anyways, or your mindset should be championship. And then if you're, you know, you get humbled one time and you meet your equal or a little better than your equal, because they always say there's always someone tougher, that old saying. I'm pretty sure that's true. You know what I mean? So I don't know how true it is, but I'm pretty sure it is. I know karma's real. So, you know what I mean? Bad karma. You keep doing a bunch of bad shit, eventually you're going to get caught. You know what I mean? I never thought I'd get caught because I thought I knew it all, and I got caught when I was young. You know what I mean? But when you're in your teenage years and your early 20s and your mid-20s, you think you're invincible. You know what I mean? And pretty much was. I was very lucky, though. Very lucky. Because I didn't sell out my fucking people. And I really believe, and I know this, that cops, feds, state police, the law, the system, the judges, the prosecutors, the lawyers, they all respect someone that does not sell out people because they got caught. So they're going to go tell on everyone else because they can't handle it. Well, you should have never been doing it if you couldn't handle it. You know what I mean? So first things first, right? You can make mistakes in life, and I had to pay for my mistakes, right? But when you make mistakes like that, when it's big boy shit, right? When it's really big boy shit, right? You know the consequences. I'm not talking about anybody in there. I'm just whoever listens to this. I hope someone gets something out of this. You know, make sure you know, and make sure you put your money away for a good fucking lawyer, because halls of justice are painted green. It's who you know, too. It's not who you blow. It's who you know. Trust me. Credibility. It's all that stuff. They'll say you're going to get 50 years when you might get unsupervised probation for fucking 6 months. So, you know, I wouldn't go down that route, is what I'm trying to fucking say. I wonder, does the one to get pinned? Both can be pinned, but so unfortunately, no, the UFC won't allow it. I agree with Jay, and I already felt that way anyways, Jay. Absolutely. But Pose, it's a good fucking question, brother. You know what I mean? It really is. Am I gonna fuck the world? Is Magalov FTW? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think I thought we lost fights on this card. I could have sworn we lost fights, but I didn't get to watch no weigh-ins yet or any of that shit because my son has a game tonight, so I had to do all this shit early. So I just I didn't even have time to take a shower after I ran. So I go fucking take a shower, get ready for my son's game. But all my picks are there. All Insight's picks are there. Insight, thanks for joining me today, brother. Jay, you're always welcome, but I knew you were working. I'm pretty sure you were working. I think you worked till 5 or something or 4. And, he had to leave after fucking 40 minutes, and I had to fucking – I got to get ready for my son's basketball game. So you're always welcome, Jay. You have an open seat here any fucking time. You're gonna let me know. You know what I mean. If you could do it, if you don't have fights, are you gonna be home that night? Because I'll wait around for you to come on. You know what I mean. I always will. Pulse, you're always welcome. You've been offered a seat here anytime. Deacon, a lot of people. A lot of people. Ken knows. I've said it a million times. There's local people around here that can come on anytime. But honestly, I don't got a lot of local fucking people that like you MMA around here. They all love boxing around here, but a lot of them don't love MMA. Some of them do, though. I'd say about every people, 100 that love boxing, maybe 10 love the mixed martial arts. I'd say that's probably about accurate around here. You wouldn't think that either in Boston. It's the same thing with kickboxing. How can't people like fucking no problem, Pulse? That's fine, bro. Yeah, that's why I got that phone, a burner phone, so people can call in and shit. And it's just been a real busy week. My wife's got real busy with her business, and she's working some. She works doing some fucking shit around the past couple Christmases. She works at this place, and makes really good money doing it, and it's the type of work that she it's all food type work and catering and type shit like that, and she's been doing that since she was 14 years old, so it's easy for her to do, you know what I mean? And she wanted to do it, so she was feeling down on herself, and happy wife, happy life, people. If your wife says, oh, she needs to get out of the house and go do some more things with her life and wants to, make herself feel better, because us as men, when we work, right, you get that really big paycheck at the end of the week, the big ones, you know what I mean? And that makes you feel better. I mean, when I was in 5th grade, I was working 3 nights a week after school. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, I had 3 paper routes, you know what I mean? Because I didn't have a father to give me money. I didn't have a mother that was rich or nothing, you know what I mean? Just on welfare and shit. So, and I used to steal change out of my mother's pocketbook because they used to have a tabletop Star Wars game down the bar, a little small bar down the end of the street from where I lived. And I go in there and play the Star Wars game, and they would never say nothing to me. No one's gonna bother you, kid. Don't worry about it. But I'd go down there, and I'd feel bad about it, you know what I mean? But my mother was a tough woman, you know what I mean? She was she had bad luck as a young lady, you know what I mean? Young woman, 18, 19. I think she was 19 when she had me. And then she had twins, my brother and sister, 7 years after she had me. And their father died when she was 3 months pregnant, and he was in the middle of a divorce. So my mother had a lot of bad luck. So I can never say, my mother, yeah, I seen some shit I probably shouldn't have seen, and all my anger is derived towards, my father probably, and feeling ashamed and shit as a young kid, even though I didn't have to be. All my friends' parents treated me very good, and I had a really good aunt and uncle that I love a lot. One of them's gone, my aunt, for a long time now. She's like a mother to me. For like 2 years, she had me, her and my uncle, when my mother was going through some really hard times. And so listen, growing up like that doesn't mean it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But all my friends' parents would always treat me very good, really good. And I was never jealous of my friends having nice parents, none of that shit. That's for haters. Even as a little kid, I understood that. You know what I mean? I can't stand haters. I can't stand jealous people. I can't stand pedophiles. I can't stand fucking rats. I can't stand people who call people rats. People who call people rats are usually the ones that are trying to take heat off themselves. My shit's all fucking public record. So you can call, you can go read, call, you can go read. It costs you 60 cents. Robert George Neal III, go look it up. You can see what they think of me. All right? I don't think they would ever call me or the farthest fucking thing from it. When I was in a minimum security prison on my first state bed, real quick story, right? I was in a room that they locked it at night. Minimum, you have no fence, you have no wall. You can basically run away and escape, but you just get another 3 to 5 added onto your fucking bed. So why do it? It's easy time, right? But yeah, so he was the only person that knew I was getting, a quarter ounce of fucking or a half ounce of weed in the bottom of my lasagna tray. From my mother would bring it up every week or two or whatever, every couple of weeks or whatever it was. And I was only there for less than 2 months or something like that. And so they caught me, right? They looked underneath the fucking lasagna. And I'm like, how the fuck did they know how to look there, right? So I knew right away it was my cellmate, right? Or it was one more guy. And he's trying to take heat off himself. But I don't think it was him. So, but I could be wrong. So I had a friend of mine's shoes, not a friend, a guy I worked with shoes, because I was wearing a really nice outfit to go see my mother, my stepfather, and a couple of friends that came with them. And they brought, lasagna. We all eat and fucking, a couple times, for a couple months. And then, so I knew it was my cellmate. I knew he was like threatened by me or something. He lived in the same city. I'm not even going to mention his name because it's not even fucking worth it. But I never seen him after that. Like, I got lugged back behind the wall and he stayed there. And they brought me up to the cell, or not the cell, the room, and they shut the door. A lieutenant that when I see him someday, I'll slap him in the fucking mouth. Because he goes, who's the bookies in there? First of all, asshole, I don't gamble. I never gambled in my life unless it's cards, right? Then I'll fucking take all your money, even the casino's monies, right? Because I can count cards. But I've never gambled in my life. I don't give a fuck who the bookies are. So I don't care. Just because my mentor and his brother are the biggest bookies, and their father was the biggest bookies in New England, and they, they're two of the biggest bookies around. That's a fucking misdemeanor. So I never worried about that shit. And not only that, that's why I could talk about it. And all the other shit I could talk about because I did time for what I'm fucking talking about. So that person said that they heard through a wall that I was ratting on bookies. I didn't even know any bookies. I didn't give a fuck who any bookies were, right? I go, just send me out of here. Like, lug me the fuck out of here. You got me with pot, you know what I mean? You have to lug me. Let's go. So I know it was him, and I never seen him again. Never seen him again in my life. And then another guy ratted me out on my to get my second state bid. I did see him 30 yards away. I go, hey, remember me? I should have never did it 30 yards away. I should have waited till I was 10 yards away or 5 yards away. And he put it in reverse. He looked at me and looked like he seen a ghost. Put it in reverse, hit the fucking reverse out of 7, hit the fucking the pylon in the back, smash. Then he went through a bunch of traffic and got out of there. And my two friends that were in the car, one of them's gone, God bless his soul, say, you should have waited till you're a little closer. Oh, yeah, that kid got me 27 fucking months, 28 months. You know what I mean? For fucking bringing a fucking Navy intelligence guy up to me to buy a 16 to blow up me. So, yeah. So that kid that they were calling me a rat, the DOC even though knew, like, if you get lugged behind the fucking wall, like, what the fuck, right? Your cellmate should go with you, right? Shouldn't he go with you if it's in your cell, if you're a 2-guy cell or room? Whatever the fuck. But no, I said, it's mine. I said, he had nothing to fucking do with it. And he had everything to fucking do with it. And hey, what the fuck? It only led to one place because I wasn't smoking weed with people in there. And I offered one other person in there who I trusted. And I might have offered a couple other people too, actually. So it could have been a lot of people. I think it was my roommate because he was, he was a little bitch about certain things. And he's dead right now. So I don't want his son to get fucking upset and, sad if they have to hear this, you know what I mean? So anyone I've ever worked with, obviously they never got in trouble from me ever. You know what I mean? So they know it. I'm proven. Like judges know, lawyers know, cops know, feds know. So when someone calls you something that you're not, and you earned all this time of not being that, it was like when you're a little kid, like a young teenager or whatever the fuck, and you're with a couple girls, and they start yelling someone's name, and the cops hear it, right? Because how can they not hear it, right? And then you get accused of fucking ratting on that person, right? It's the same fucking thing. You know what I mean? It's just like, you're damn if you do, you're damn if you don't. But loyalty is royalty. So stay loyal, people. Never rat on nobody. Never rat on. Jay, Pulse, thank you for joining, people. I really appreciate it. We all do, obviously. Both can beat Pimblett, so unfortunately, no, the UFC won't. Yeah, Pimblett's gonna have. I mean, he's got balls, and he's very likable. I don't hate the kid at all. I just seen him in Cage Warriors, and I'm like, I'm really rooting for this other guy too. I was actually rooting for both of them because they both doing things for the right reasons to help people. You know what I mean? Mental health issues, drug addiction issues, and shit. So you know what? I was rooting for both of them in a kind of way. But I'd be lying if I tell you I didn't take the other fighter. You know what I mean? So I took the other fighter. I didn't think Patty was going to win. He didn't win the fight. I was right. And you could go back and watch the fight. You know what I mean? And even though I don't promote this guy's channel, the Weasel, right? I watch his breakdown of it. And I don't never watch his breakdowns, but I watched it because it was like the first thing that popped up. And I don't even know why it popped up, but it popped up. And I watched his breakdown, and he had a pretty good breakdown of it. And then other people, too, even from England, was saying he lost the fight. And I know, like, what significant strikes are. I just don't know. I think damage is the number one criteria. Control time is second. Ground and pound, which means ground and pound. Control time is hard to do, believe it or not. People don't believe that, but it really is. And, I forget the other criteria, but it's 3 somethings. Just like it's an acronym, and it's like this: the 3 L's in business in real estate. It's just like in every business. It's leads, listings, promotion, right? Listings, whatever, and leverage. If you have leverage on certain areas, if you know certain important people in certain areas, you can get those bids, construction bids, minority bids, whatever the fuck case may be, right? You use those to your advantage because then you show them your work ethic, and how good of a job you do. Then you start getting picked more and more and more. You don't got to ask for that no more. But every once in a while in life, you might have to ask for something. You know what I mean? Every once in a while, you might have to swallow your pride. I hate to ask anybody for anything. You know what I mean? But sometimes it's just, you might have to ask for a fucking loan, or you might have to ask someone to, let you fucking talk to them and just listen to you for a little bit because you need to get something out of your mind, or you might want to go fucking do something you're gonna regret. You have to pay $100,000 for a lawyer, or $50,000, $5,000, $10,000 just to talk to a really good lawyer, and then he's gonna say, well, it's gonna take about 2-3 years before we go to pre-trial, and then so they drag it out so they keep getting paid, and they can actually get you off fucking serious crimes. It's just when it gets political, and like my last case cost way back in 2001, but I was out of prison for like 8, 9, 10 years. So I was building tunnels and shit as a sand dog. So I was doing very good. It was just something that was very necessary at the time. So it's, some people love it in prison. Some people, Insight was saying yesterday on Twitter, I just happened to catch it. What's the difference between a minimum security and a medium? Well, medium is just almost like a maximum security. It's almost the same thing. It's a place where they go and figure out how much time you're doing, and they figure out where you're going to go next. You know what I mean? Where you're going to go next to do the rest of your time till you go to a minimum security is where there's no walls, no fences. You could just escape, but you don't want to escape because you're getting more good time for being in a place like that. And then you go to pre-release from there, or you just go home from there. You know what I mean? So it's something you really don't want to fuck up. You know what I mean? So, but like I took a chance bringing weed in there and shit. And the second time I went to fucking minimum, I was like, fuck bringing weed in. This ain't fucking DYS no more. This ain't fucking, fucking county in the fucking late 80s. You know what I mean? Or in the mid 80s. This ain't like, this ain't those times. Other people have it. You know what I mean? So, I don't want to get involved with no cops here. I don't want to. I just want to do my time and go home. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I never even thought about getting. I was just bringing pot in for myself. It wasn't even the sell. You know what I mean? So I only told a couple people. But yeah, people that call people rats, not all the time. Not all the time. You gotta have paperwork, and it's got to be legit. All right. But usually they're trying to take heat off themselves. That's really the case. About 75, 80, way more than half the time. Just do yourselves a favor. Don't get in trouble. Don't get involved in shit. And if you do get involved, because I did, so who am I to say anything? Because I'll be a hypocrite. I'm trying to give you some advice. If you do it and you get caught, don't tell on your people. Take it like a man. Because you got yourself involved, you know what you get yourself involved in, and get out and don't ever make that same mistake again. It's as simple as that. You'll just don't ever get involved. Because if you get involved, you're not going to like those places, people. You're not going to like them. I was in juvie at 13, 14, 15, and 16. And never again because I smartened the fuck up finally, right? But then after that I went upstate. I didn't go to county. I went to county and then got bailed out after a month or something or two. My mother wanted me to dry out from the booze and the cocaine and selling and stuff, cocaine, all that bullshit, right? So yeah, I got bailed out both times, 3 times, 4 times, and it's better to come off the streets than it is to come from a county going get your sentence or whatever the fuck, It's just better to come from the streets. So just leave that shit alone, people, please. Like, I see all these young kids making these mistakes, and I used to be that young kid making those mistakes. So it's just like I want, not kid, but young men, you know what I mean? I don't want to see people make that same mistake. Because believe it or not, 75, 80, I'd say even 80% of the people in prison don't even belong there. Got royally fucked over. Their lawyer fucked them. Their significant other fucked them over. 80% of those people in prison are there because of a woman. 80% of people in a grave are because of a woman, because they couldn't live without their first love or whatever the fuck. There's plenty of fish in the sea, people. Time heals all wounds. I'm a perfect example of that. Like, I don't want no fucking badge. I don't want no badge of anything. I don't want no trophy. I don't want nothing. All I'm telling you is you can better your life. I fucked up the first 25 years of my life, but I made a lot of money doing it. So when I had to do my time, I never bitched about it because I was happy with the time I got. I'm like, damn, all the shit I've gotten away with, like, I'm very lucky to get this amount of time. I actually, if I don't make no more mistakes, I'll be fine. You know what I mean? So yeah, I got very lucky. And I really believe if you're a stand-up person, you don't rat on your friends, you don't rat on people, you just take it like a man. I believe the courts will respect you more, and your peers will respect you more. That's a character trait that you have to have, bravery. Because a coward dies 1,000 deaths. So don't ever be scared of nothing, people, ever. You might get butterflies in your stomach because that's a normal thing, or whatever that is, nervousness, or whatever the fuck it is, right? Fear, whatever you want to call it, right? It's just a shitty feeling in your stomach. And you're like, I don't want to do this, right? But then once you do it, you're like, oh, it's kind of fun. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people get scared to fight. Like, you hear people asking questions. Does it hurt? They ask these mixed martial arts after fights. Wow, that must have hurt, that punch. Wow, when you're in a fight getting punched, it's not hurting at all. Your adrenaline is going so fucking, you're at the peak of your adrenaline level, nothing hurts. It's after a couple hours later or fucking the next day, you're going to be in pain. But pain's Pain's temporary, pride's forever. You know what I mean? People, I think I got a Christmas present today. I got 3 cameras that with a dashboard where I can hit during live streams and all kinds of the podcasts I got coming up that I am doing. I'm definitely been doing a lot of research, taking a step back and still putting out content, you know, just little clips of me training like for a couple minutes just to put something out there positive for people, you know what I mean? To get out there and sweat, you know what I mean? And, you know, that's the only reason I do that. I just like to try to help people, honestly. And I've gotten so many emails and comments of how I've helped them. And someone, guy from Fighters Rep, George Francis, he said, Robbie, you should do this, Bobby. Bobby, you should do this. You should try to inspire people. You're very, you know, good with you know, trying to tell people just get up and do it. You know what I mean? But sometimes it's not just as easy as that. And I understand that. Oh shit. Okay. Happy wife, happy life. Okay, I gotta go to my son's game. Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Post, you can come on anytime you want, brother. You want to give your picks? What the fuck, dude? You know what I mean? It's an hour or less. If we have 3 people on, it's usually an hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes. But we're just passionate about talking fights, and fuck it. You know what I mean? Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Who cares who likes you, who don't like you? But it's good to get different people's perspective on fights. It really is. I'm a fan. I fought my life play. I fought amateur, fought pros, fought fucking Golden Glove champ. I spar with them all the time. I always spar the best. TKO the biggest white guy up in fucking my first fucking state prison bid in the second round. Yeah, there's so many fights. I love fighting. So when you're talking to even a passionate fight fan, it's just good talking to people about fights. Mixed martial arts is probably one of the best times in the world to be a mixed martial artist fan. And right now, if you're a savage, if you're come from a different cloth or whatever, if you're a go-getter, this is the time right now, going into 2023, to create a fucking channel, a podcast, a platform, and stick with it. Stick with it. This was all practice for me, people, because I wasn't good at tech. I still ain't great with it, but I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I could put out a broadcast. You know what I mean? I could put out a podcast. And believe it or not, I don't know. I winged it a lot of the times, but I watched videos and listened to people how to do it. But I winged it a lot of times, and it just worked. And if you do it every day, you'll never forget. But if you do it once, and then you go to do it again, and it took you a long time to learn how to do it, you'll forget how to fucking do it. Then you got to go back and learn it again. So the best advice is to try. StreamYard's really good if you're not really good with tech. It's very self-explanatory. They're very good. OBS is definitely the one I would recommend if you're a tech, and they're coming out with great ones with no browsers, all kinds of shit. There's all kinds of really good platforms. But if you're not good with technology like me, because I was too busy running water tunnel shifts and working on fucking big jobs, construction jobs, I didn't have time to fucking do computer work. I had to pay my producer to do my hours because he's the computer man. You know what I mean? But I used to watch him. And I went to fucking ITT Tech for fucking 4 to 6 months or something like that. And then my wife found out it was a scam. And she told me, and she goes, "You're not going no more." I go, "No, I'm not going no more. Yeah, no one's ever fucking ripping me off." So, yeah. So I started going to ITT Tech. And you were just learning to copy and paste and shit like that. The computer's not hard, people. It's basically trial and error. Even people from our era, you'll figure it out. If you got the first Atari and you play video games growing up, you'll figure it out. If you know how to use your iPhone, that's a mini computer. Same thing as a laptop or a fucking iPad or a fucking any type of module. You know what I mean? Any type of what are they called? Table models or fucking or what are they, floor models or whatever? Because I think that's the first computer I bought for my wife and daughter was big one with the disk drive and all that shit. So my daughter can read codes and shit. She works for the state. She makes a lot of money. She does really good. And my son is in his last year of high school and he goes to college. So it's a tough time for me to let my last kid go. It's hard when you guys are parents or the people that are parents understand this. A lot of people do watch this later, and I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. My green hours are always going up. I just need more subscribers and more. I got a lot of hours. It'll definitely get to the hours I need because I get more hours every day. I need people to subscribe and like. And one thing you can count on with me, right? I'm not going to talk like a Harvard fucking professor. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to fucking, I'm not going to perpetrate a fraud. I'm not trying to be famous. None of that shit. I'm just be passionate about the sport. And I believe people need to do this. If they're knowledgeable about fights and fighting and they love the sport, you're only giving back to the community. You know what I mean? MMA and boxing community. So just do it. You know what I mean? Who cares what people fucking think? If they're talking shit, they're not doing it themselves, right? We all know what that is, right? That's insecurities, right? That's a little bitch that says shit like that. And a bitch doesn't mean a woman, people. I call more men bitches than any woman. I don't think I've ever called a woman a bitch. I tell my wife she's a bitch sometimes, and I regret it because then you got to deal with her screaming at you. You know what I mean? And women, here's the thing, men, here's another valuable lesson. You'll never win a fight with a woman. Physically, right? Probably, right? I've never went there because if I hit my wife, she'd die. And she's tough, still really tough. I'm just being honest with you, people. You hit a woman, you can kill him. You hit a man, you can kill him. So just don't hit your wife. Woman's always got to get the last word in. Let them get that last word in. Even if you're right, let them think if they're a good woman, they'll realize if you're right, they'll realize it and they'll come apologize. But other than that, just let them get the last words in. Let it die out for 20 minutes and go in and say you're sorry, even if you didn't do nothing wrong. That's my best advice. I got 31 years coming up with my wife, and I love her to death. So, I don't want some floozy, you know what I mean? I want my wife who I love and care about. And, you'll find that woman in your life, people. You people might think there's plenty of women out there that are looking for a good man that they just don't want to die alone. You know what I mean? So, it's not always the looks. It's what's inside here. You don't have to have a 10. You want a 5, 6, 7, 8. Even if they're ugly and you love them, and what people perceive to be ugly. I don't think anyone's ugly. I think everyone's beautiful in their own fucking way. I really believe that. I think people are all beautiful in their own way. Everyone has something to give, to this world. It's up to us if we give it. You know what I mean? So all I'm trying to do is just trying to help. So all I'm trying to do is trying to help. And not only that, I like to do things because I love proving people wrong. Not only that, I love proving myself wrong. So, I'm going into doing this stuff it's nervous for me. I've never been nervous of fighting. Never been nervous of doing shows. Never been nervous of doing the shit I used to do. Right. This shit was actually nervous. When there's someone not behind the camera, it's kind of fucking nerve-wracking. So it's kind of like, who the fuck are you talking to, Robbie? But you're talking to the whole world, believe it or not. And over time, people watch your shit. Believe it or not, they will watch it. Thumbnails are important, people. And I'm learning all this shit on the go. So little by little, I try to get a little bit better every time, just a little bit. And now I'm learning about pre-recorded and learning how to pre-record, and I'm starting to test that out now. You know what I mean? And I got 3 new cameras coming, so it'll show 3 different angles on my guests, on me, on my guests, on my guests. When I have guests, it'll go to all them. You know what I mean? And I can get all different angles, all from just the press of a tablet. I can just all during the live feed or pre-recorded. So it makes editing a lot easier, and it's better for the fan. You know what I mean? All I want to do is just get better and better and better. And I know sometimes I'll fuck it up. You know what I mean? But like another year or 2 from now, or 3, or whatever whatever it takes, I want to come back and look at these old ones and say, what a fucking amateur you were, Robbie. Amateur boxers are good, okay? What a fucking hack job, Robbie, you did. What a fucking idiot you were on there. What a fucking clown you were on there. Because I can shit on myself. You know why? Because it's called humility. So if you can't shit on yourself, I don't know. Yeah, I do have an ego. That's for damn sure. And if someone tries to shit on me in person and face to face, I'm never going to let them get away with that without answering for it. You know what I mean? But online, I realize that most of the people that talk shit would never say it to your face. So it's senseless to even let it get to you. You know what I mean? And everyone has a right to their own opinion anyways. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, people. I learned this, honestly, from Jay at Rush Hour MMA. I learned it from him and Ken. Ken said it to me before, too, on DMs and shit. Bobby, don't let people get to you. Do your thing, do your thing. Do your, motivational shit. You're good at that. You know what I mean? And do your other things. Just keep learning. And same thing with Jay. You know what I mean? Always gives me a positive fucking, you're going to do good. You're going to do better this year. You're going to do better this year. It's all good to hear from people. You know what I mean? A lot of other people too. But one thing is, I know for sure I'll be doing this for the next 20 years. God forbid anything ever happens. You know what I mean? Unless I fucking expire on this earth before that. But I don't think I will. I live very healthy. All right, people, have a blessed night. I think it's, one night to wake up, right? So run over to Rush Hour MMA tomorrow for the UFC card. It's the last UFC card of the year. Subscribe over there. Become a Army member like me, a Special Ops member, all of us over there. And a good community of good mixed martial arts. Not as many boxing fans, but the commentator, he's a boxing fan. So kickboxing fan, Muay Thai fan. He loves all violence, controlled violence, and street violence. Fights, you know what I mean? He's not talking about drive-bys or nothing, you know what I mean? But he likes violence like, we all love fights, you know what I mean? So, check him out. He's really good. I don't want that exposure like he has. He's really good at dealing. I always tell him all the time on the DM store, on the download, I say, I admire, I've said it on live, calling him. I said, I admire your patience. For a 32-year-old young man, he acts like he's 42 or fucking 48 or 52. He acts like so patient. And, when I see him do that, I'm like, damn, I admire it. I got to admit, I admire it. I told him many times. So he's kind of helped me. You know what I mean? When I see him, the way he deals with people, I just say, you know what? That's the best way to fucking deal with it right there. You know what I mean? But, you can't let people get in your head, people. You can never I don't let people rent space in my head on the streets or anywhere I've ever been in my life. So I'm definitely not going to do it on the computer. So definitely, people, do not let people get to you. There's no sense. Follow your passions. Fucking try something new, people. You know what I mean? Just try something new for yourself. And it'd be, like John McCarthy says every time, I like how they end their show. I like how John McCarthy always says it. And Jay, I'll see you next week. There's got to be a slogan you got to say, outro or intro. And I usually play music and shit. Do something, be kind until you can't be kind no more. You know what I mean? Try to treat people the way you would want to be treated. And that's what respect is all about. Treating people the way you want to be treated. But if you earned your respect, and you should demand it. You know what I mean? So, just try to be nice and always evaluate the situation. Think before you act and think before you speak even. And if you say something fucking bad or something like that, apologize for it right there. Don't wait. Catch yourself. I have a big ego. I catch myself. Most of the times I catch myself. So I'm like, wow, that was a fucking stupid thing to say. Because someone could take that wrong. You know what I mean? I'm not even here trying to hurt someone's feelings. I'm here trying to have a good time and fucking excited for the fights. So one more sleep, people, and then we get knockouts and fucking submissions and head kick knockouts and all kinds of crazy shit. And drama too. And we get some drama. Rush Hour MMA tomorrow, people. Check it out. Subscribe. Go over there. RGN's in the granite. 617. Subscribe, please. Helps the channel grow. Monetize. All I need is my subscribers now. I'm gonna start going to people I know on the streets. I'm gonna say, you don't have YouTube? Okay, go on YouTube and fucking subscribe. So I'll just have to do it that way because I'm monetized everywhere except for YouTube, and YouTube's the most important one. So that's all I need to do. That's it right there. And I've been doing this for it says 2016, but I've only been on there since the end of 2019 with a channel. And that was because I was like almost 2 years into coming off all the pain meds and shit like that. So it was more for self-reflection and shit like that. It was more to help me, and I kind of had a passion for it. And but first I had to learn how to fucking do all this shit. But one thing about me, and anyone can tell you guys this that knows me, my work ethic is very good. I've been an artist since I was young. I've written albums. I play bass. I play guitar. I can sing. I play sports really good. Like I'm an athlete, fighter, all that stuff. Fighter, ex-fighter, all these other things. Love fighter, huge fight fan, huge music fan, huge cannabis activist. Like since '83, since I was fucking 12, going on 13 years old. So 11 teen. Before I was half a year before I was a teenager. So 11 teen. That's what I call it back in the 80s. I don't know. You guys can use that one if you ever want to use it. 11 teen going on 30. That's what I was around that time. Yeah. But I always smoked pot. I never thought pot was a bad thing. Ever. But it's not for everybody either. You know what I mean? So if you got to try it, just use a little bit. Don't use a lot. Please don't use a lot. Because then you'll fucking hate the shit. And it can really be a benefit to you if you're trying to come off any drugs, booze, anything like that. Any type of situation like that. That would help. You know what I mean? Help you a lot more than any prescription drug coming off drugs. Any type of drugs, alcohol, anything like that. Pot will calm you down. It'll make you creative. It'll make you zone out playing video games, watching movies, or like me learning tech. It's just in training. Like I need to smoke weed. Even before I'd spar, I'd smoke weed. So I'd loosen up and stay calm. I wouldn't go in all tense. You know what I mean? I wouldn't hit as hard. I'd hit around 50, 60, 70% instead of 80, 90%, almost 100. So I'd be so tensed up. So, my second trainer said, maybe you should smoke a joint before you come in and spar. And that was the cure all. I just went there relaxed. You know what I mean? And before I train, every day before I train, I like to smoke weed. It just makes makes my training a lot better. It takes my pain away because I'm in a lot of pain every day. And it just brings your inflammation down. So that's what works for me. So you see me smoking grass on this video. It's not because I'm trying to be an asshole. I've been smoking since I was a young kid, 11, 12, 13 years old. So sue me if you don't like it, I guess. Take it easy, people. Rush Hour, Pulse, Insight. Thanks for joining me, brother. Everyone, hope you have a blessed night, a safe night, a blessed weekend, a safe weekend. I hope you guys I'll see Jay. I'll see you guys over the Rush Hour MMA tomorrow on YouTube, people. Rush Hour MMA on YouTube. I've been watching fights with this kid and his producer, young man, and his producer. That's almost my age, a little younger, about 3-4 years younger, 5 years younger, tops. And a lot of good people over there. Good community of good people. Really good people over there. Every site, you're going to get a couple assholes, okay? It's just the way it is everywhere. Not just one place. It's like that everywhere. But this place, the commentator, Jay, he don't bully nobody. He don't bully anybody. He's just such a straight shooter, a very class act. I can say he's a class act, class A plus act. He's a class A plus act. He's funny. He's engageable. You call in, talk to him if you want. I call in to support the channel because a lot of people don't call. There's a few people that call all the time and they're giving support. I call just to give support. But he's done really well because he's stuck with it. And he learned the system. He learned how it works. So you want to see what hard work pays off? Go check out Rush Hour MMA. You'll see a good community over there. Even a fucking crazy nut like me goes over there, watches fights with these guys because you know why? They're passionate about the fucking sport. and I'm very passionate about it. And there's not a lot of mixed martial artists fans around here at all. Just it's almost like extinct. Like I said, it's probably 10 out of every. I said 10 out of every 100 boxing fans, 10 MMA fans too. I'd say it's more like out of every 250 or 1,000. Maybe there's 10 MMA fans. Maybe. And that might be even being generous. People have a blessed weekend. Be safe out there, people. Please be safe.